at you.
Welcome into Studio Day Heffrey, and today I want to talk about Dak Prescott, Mike McCarthy, the Cowboys, and how their opportunity to Super Bowl may already be in the rearview mirror. Now, nothing's impossible. We'll start there. Nothing is impossible. But Sports Illustrated did a great write-up on something that gets brought up pretty much every year when it comes to quarterbacks in the NFL. I think you guys know that Dak Prescott is at the end of his rookie deal, and he's about to either get paid big time or he will get the franchise tag, which is still getting paid big time in a salary cap league. So let's take a look at how hard it's going to be if the Cowboys intend to win a Super Bowl with Dak Prescott as the quarterback. It's going to be tough. So there's 8 teams left in the postseason. What can they tell us about how you give yourself an opportunity to win a Super Bowl? Let's look at their quarterbacks' salaries, okay? I've got the SI information, and then I'm going to add on to it with a little something of my own that I went ahead and looked up. Russell Wilson makes $35 million a year. He's Russell Wilson, too. So Aaron Rodgers makes $33.5 million per year. Kirk Cousins makes $28 million per year. Jimmy Garoppolo makes $27.5 million per year. The NFC teams have got some highly, highly compensated quarterbacks left in the mix here. Let's look at the AFC. Pat Mahomes makes $4 million a year. Deshaun Watson makes $3.5 million a year. Lamar Jackson makes $2.4 million a year. Ryan Tannehill makes $2 million a year that Tennessee's actually paying this year. And Mariota on a rookie deal. The entire AFC is quarterbacks on a rookie deal. That's what's left in the postseason. And the two big-time favorites to win the Super Bowl, according to the computers and according to Vegas, is Patrick Mahomes' team and Lamar Jackson's team. Lamar's, I should have said those in the reverse order, because the Ravens are the big-time favorite to win the whole thing this year. All quarterbacks on rookie deals. That's all that's left in the AFC. Now, all highly compensated is what's left in the NFC. So how does this apply to the Cowboys? Well, let's look at what is getting each team in the mix here. So the Packers, right? They've got a highly compensated quarterback, and they were able to be aggressive in free agency because they only have 2 skill players making more than $3 million per year. The Seahawks only have 1 making more than $4 million per year, Tyler Lockett. The 49ers have got a young and reasonably cheap productive front 7. Their skill players don't make a bunch of money. Like, that's the concession that they've had to make, is you have to sacrifice because we don't have money to add all the players that we would like to, so we have to make sacrifices. So Aaron Rodgers, you got to get by with Devontae Adams and running backs who make nothing. Russell Wilson, you've got to get by. Let me see my little Seattle chart here. You have to get by with, Tyler Lockett's your only skill player who makes basically any money. That's what, and you got to go ahead and make that work. The AFC teams, however, when your quarterback is on a rookie deal, which that window just ended, thanks, Jason Garrett, you get to go spend your money. Texans defense. They went and added veterans. They acquired veterans. Laramie Tunsil, money. Kenny Stills, money. Duke Johnson, money. The Titans, free agency, Roger Saffold, Logan Ryan, Malcolm Butler, Adam Humphries, Cam Wake, and they paid Taylor Lewan and Roger Saffold. The Ravens, Earl Thomas, Mark Ingram. The Chiefs, Frank Clark, Honey Badger, and those were big-time deals right before they also paid Tyreek Hill. So the Cowboys are about to hit the spot where I ran these numbers real quick for you. The NFC teams, let me make sure I got all my numbers. Where did I put my numbers? I have my numbers. Where are my numbers? Here we go. Baltimore. They got 21 guys on their roster that make at least $2 million. Kansas City. They got 21 guys on their roster that make at least $2 million. Tennessee has 21 guys that make at least $2 million, and Houston has 20 guys that make at least $2 million. So over 20 guys. They got a whole bunch of guys there in the mid-level player where you can have veterans, you can have some highly compensated rookies, you can plug holes. The Cowboys next year have 11 dudes that make at least $2 million under contract. 11. Now, it doesn't count Dak or Amari Cooper if you add Robert Quinn. But still, the teams that got quarterbacks on a rookie deal can have 7, 8, 9 more mid-level players on the roster than the Cowboys can. So right now, once Dak gets paid, life is going to get tough. None of these teams are paying Zeke $12 million, $15 million a year. None of these teams are paying $22 million a year for a guy that just got him 5 sacks. And I don't mean to take shots at DeMarcus Lawrence. He played fine this year. He was a good player. He just didn't get enough sacks. The salary cap is very real, and it makes life challenging once you pay the quarterback. The teams that are still in this thing in the NFC, part of that is either the quarterback is super awesome or they've managed to draft and develop really well, which the Cowboys did. But now, who are the Cowboys that over the next 2-3 years, when Dak's money actually hits the books? Because some of these NFC teams, the Packers, Zadarius Smith and Preston Smith haven't actually hit the books. This is the first year of their deals. Their cap numbers are low. They're about to go, and it's about to get even harder. It's going to squeeze the middle of their roster. That's how this works. So who are the guys that the Cowboys have added in the last 2-3 drafts that are going to be awesome players that don't cost a lot of money? Tristan Hill. Michael Gallup counts. Van Der Esch if he's healthy. But outside of that, Tony Pollard, backup running back. Remember back in the day when it was Martin and Tank and Byron, and I don't have those drafts pulled up, but Dak and Zeke and Anthony Brown, and they were nailing it. They were nailing it. So at that point, if you had to pay a quarterback $30 million, $35 million, that's okay. You can survive it because you had guys that could contribute for cheap. But right now, the pressure is on. They are going to have to absolutely nail the draft. Nail it. They are going to have either Connor Williams or Connor McGovern be a good player. And they are going to have to find pieces on the defense that cost them very little to try to shore this thing up. And then Dak's going to have to play like a superstar. That's where the Cowboys are. That is reality in the NFL. We'll talk about it on the G-Bag Nation today. We do it every year. Rookie deals at quarterback win the Super Bowl. And the Cowboys have already squandered that opportunity. And the worst part is that it also coincides with the time when they've stopped hitting home runs in the draft left and right. So this team is going to have a killer offseason. Mike McCarthy and his staff are going to have a huge impact. And Dak Prescott's probably going to have to play like a top 5 quarterback to cover for deficiencies that they're going to have on the roster because of how they've already spent. So it's a bad news Cowboy day, but that's okay. For the good news in the comments, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream? I'm a standard strawberry guy. I like strawberry. I also like the cookies and cream. I like the chocolate chip cookie dough. But strawberries there at the top. Let me know what's at the top for you. Tune into G-Bag Nation. Check 1053thefan.com every day and make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube page. And we will see you here on the radio in just a bit. I love you guys, and here's a wink.